between Rodriguez and Muratalla. Rodriguez, again, looking for a career-altering victory here tonight over the undefeated Muratalla Jr. With that, let's send it up to the ring to meet our fighters.
Entering the arena, Edwin Rodriguez.
Well, as it has been for many fighters, boxing has been a savior for Edwin Rodriguez. He once said that at one point in his life, he was getting carried away in the streets. But one day, he had a revelation that the streets didn't love him back, and that carrying on down that path wouldn't help him create a better life for his 5 children. He said he asked God to help him out of that environment and vowed to dedicate himself to the sport of boxing. But as much good as boxing has done for Rodriguez, it's also been unforgiving. 3 of his losses have come to undefeated fighters, and in his last 4 fights, he feels he's been victimized by poor judging, coming away with just 1 win, a loss, and 2 draws in a collection of fights he feels that he deserved to have his hand raised in. Tonight, he looks to leave no doubt in the minds of the judges and alter the path of his hard luck career.
His opposition, Gabriel Muratalla.
But when you see how this man, Gabriel Muratalla, fights, you would never imagine that by day he's a preschool teacher, teaching children up to grade 1 and running boxing camps for toddlers in the Muratalla family backyard gym. For the time being, at least, Muratalla is waiting for his next role after the school he taught at for many years in California is closed down. It's the first time in his professional boxing career that his schedule has been this open, relatively speaking, and it happens to coincide with one of his biggest opportunities to date. Led by his father, Gabriel Sr., and trainer to the stars, Robert Garcia, Muratalla is looking to keep pace with his younger brother, one of the sport's most dangerous rising lightweight contenders.
We continue with the action inside of OTE Arena, Atlanta, Georgia. This is the first ever OTX Friday night fight, powered by C4 Energy. This bout, scheduled for a distance of 6 rounds or less in the bantamweight division. Our judges scoring at ringside are Pat Cronin, Ed Canner, and Troyce Stamey. In charge of the ring, referee Cornelius Stevenson. Presenting first, the fighter in the blue corner. He enters wearing silver with pink trim on the scale. He registered an official 117 3/4 pounds. Tonight, he enters the OTX ring for the 20th time as a pro, with a record of 11 victories against 6 losses, 2 bouts even, 5 of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of the Jacaguas, Juana Diaz, Puerto Rico. Boricua to the bone, Edwin Rodriguez. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing army green with white, he weighed in at 117 1/2 pounds. Tonight, this preschool educator enters the OTX ring an undefeated professional fighter with 9 victories. 5 of his victories coming by way of knockout. From Fontana, California, Gabriel, El Maestro, Muratalla.
All right, gentlemen, you received your instructions in the back room. Keep your punches up. will be my mental all the time. You got it? Just goes back to the corner.
So 6 rounds in the bantamweight division here between Gabriel Muratalla and Edwin Rodriguez. Muratalla, as we mentioned, the older brother of the rising lightweight contender Raymond Muratalla. They spar together, they train together in the family backyard. We are set to go here, round 1. Muratalla in the green and white fuzzy trunks, and Edwin Rodriguez in the pink and silver. One thing of note with Edwin Rodriguez, if you were looking him up online, you might have noticed a fairly lengthy layoff. However, Rodriguez actually scored a 6-round majority decision over the 2-0 Leandro Nova Sanchez, a former national amateur champion, in April of this year. That bout was hidden from public view on BOXREC, but footage of it is readily available online, so not quite as much ring rust as you might think if you were looking Edwin Rodriguez up prior to this fight.
Only a private eye or Corey Erdman would be able to find that information and make sure that we are.
I've got some inside sources at BOXREC. Shout out to Gray Johnson.
You know, you mentioned the hard luck career of Edwin Rodriguez. You got to look past the numbers of his record. This guy can really fight. And like you said, a lot of those fights could have gone his way, and he does believe he was on the wrong side of a lot of those decisions. And I can attest to that as well. I've called some of those fights. I've watched all of those fights. This guy is a very, very talented, actually 12-6 fighter, like you said.
I know you were ringside for that controversial draw with Joshua Greer a couple of years ago. You had a tough fight with Dylan Price last time out. Certainly a tougher fight than it appears on paper for Gabriel Muratalla, and for Edwin Rodriguez, just hoping that he can get a fair shake here tonight.
I like how Muratalla is changing levels with his jab. He's boxing smarter than I've seen in the past. A lot of times he likes to get on the inside, double, triple up the left hand, leaves himself open at times. So right here he's being very, very smart, tricky with that jab, high jab, low. Moving around the ring quite a bit. I think he knows the man in front of him is very dangerous.
Well, speaking with Muratalla in fighter meetings, he was kind of hesitant to commit to the fact that he would set the pace in this fight, in the sense that, you know, he said that he would dictate the pace, but he didn't want to say that he was going to go out and try and bull rush Rodriguez in the opening round, even with that knockout incentive hanging in the balance.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea against a seasoned pro like Rodriguez, who he has in front of him. This is the toughest fight of Muratalla's career thus far. Trying to come out here and blast this guy out when you're not that kind of puncher, not the smartest move.
Nice left hook to the body, followed by an uppercut up the middle there from Muratalla. Tripling up on the jab there.
And Corey, you mentioned that first round incentive for the knockout. I don't think you're going to see that as these guys push it as much with the more seasoned guys. The 4-rounders, the 6-rounders, sure, but these guys who have more fights and are looking, that are a little bit past that, you're not really going to see them come out here guns blazing. Last round, though, they may go for it.
Final 10 seconds of a smooth-looking opening round for El Maestro, Gabriel Muratalla. Take a look at the corner of Gabriel Muratalla. Robert Garcia giving the instructions. Round 2 underway. Mentioned Robert Garcia in the corner of Muratalla. Both Muratalla brothers, both he and Raymond, have managed to kind of strike a balance between training at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy and at home in their backyard. Basically, they spend about 3 days a week each at either location, and Garcia and the eldest Muratalla have just come to a nice agreement to not step on one another's toes and kind of work in conjunction with one another.
That just shows you the level that Robert Garcia is at. He's a great coach to work with. I did a similar thing when I was going there for camps. I did the majority of my camp in New York, and then I would finish up with 4 weeks there for the majority of my sparring, come back and have my fights. And Robert's very giving in that way as a trainer. No ego in that gym.
Rodriguez missing over the top of the right hand. Muratalla with a nice counter to the body.
Yeah, this round definitely picking up. Like we said, guys at this level that are this season, they're going to feel each other out in the first round. Both men are coming out with a little more heat here in round number 2.
If you're Edwin Rodriguez, you have to know that the hourglass is running out a little bit faster. He's kind of been known as a slow starter throughout his career. Starts slow, typically picks it up late. He had an excellent round 7 and 8 against Dylan Price a couple of fights ago. But with just 6 rounds to work with here, you can see him turning it on a little bit more here in round 2, even if you feel Muratalla is doing the better work.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think, the first round probably went to Muratalla. He was just busier with that jab up and down. Here we're seeing a lot more pressure starting from Rodriguez, which is not normal for his style, but I think he understands that there's no slow starting here in overtime boxing.
Rodriguez, as his career has advanced, has become more of a pressure fighter. We saw him outbox Saul Sanchez earlier in his career, kind of a back foot, prettier boxer, but perhaps as a result of some of those decisions not going his way, getting a little bit more mature, he started to march forward a little bit more, and he's having some success in doing so here in the second round.
Yeah, both those guys, just not to cut you off, both of them just landed really nice right hand from Muratalla over the top, and then a nice sneaky uppercut from Rodriguez on the inside. There's another uppercut there from Muratalla. But yeah, no, to your point, Corey, that Rodriguez has become much more of a pressure fighter. He can box in a little bit more than this. We have seen him do that, but I think he understands that in order to get these close decisions, he's gonna have to put more pressure and do more damage. You mentioned that Dylan Price fight. I just watched that back this morning. He had someone in front of him who was just very athletic, very quick. He had to grind him down and really dig in late. Wasn't enough to get the win that night. I didn't think he won that fight either, but he gave a very good account of himself.
Final 10 seconds of round 2. Nice sweeping right hand there from Edwin Rodriguez. Certainly has a case to be made here in round 2. Good action in our second bout of the evening.
Jenny, yesterday you said you consider getting me a job.
Guard that with your wife, but do not open it.
This ain't what you want. I think he likes me.
The universe has sent you a gift. That love you feel for your family makes you weak. You're wrong.
My family, that's what makes me strong.
All right, coach, come on.
Round 3 begins. Significant improvements for Edwin Rodriguez in round 2. Certainly closed the distance a lot more than he had in round 1, where Muratalla was kind of able to smoothly outbox Rodriguez from long range.
Yeah, Muratalla was a lot more mobile in round number 1. He stood his ground a little bit in round 2, but caught some right hands for his trouble. So now we see him back on his feet a little bit, using his jab and his length. Nice left hook over the top from Rodriguez.
Counter right hand there from Muratalla as Rodriguez tries to dig to the body, and now it's Muratalla who rips that left hook along the belt line of Rodriguez, but back comes Rodriguez.
I don't know how clean that shot landed, but it definitely pushed Muratalla back. Depending on where the judges were and where they saw that, they could have scored that as a big landing blow. Rodriguez looking very sturdy, coming forward, fighting over that front foot. Very Puerto Rican style, using that left hand, left jab. We haven't seen the left hook yet. He actually has a very good left hook. Well, Puerto Rican does not have a good left hook. But he hasn't seen that weapon just yet.
Rodriguez grew up idolizing fighters like Ivan Calderon, Miguel Cotto, of course. Spent time sparring with the Current world champion Oscar Collazo in recent times. Rodriguez trying to find a route to the body as well. That time with the right hand.
Muratalla is showing some nice boxing skills, some good athleticism. In other fights, I've seen him more just kind of come forward and bang at guys and just outwork them and outspeed them. This fight, he's showing some really nice, classy boxing skills.
It's interesting because there are similarities, but he is not the same type of boxer as his brother Raymond. They are similar in some ways, obviously, given their schooling, but they have different identities in the ring.
No, absolutely. I mean, they definitely have different physicalities too. You know, there are certain movements you see like, ooh, they look like that looks like his brother. You know, which makes sense, of course. But yeah, no, his brother, younger, bigger, stronger, bigger puncher.
His brother would like that left hand to the body there. Saw Edwin Rodriguez kind of smack his gloves together, almost an acknowledgement of that shot, and now Muratalla comes down the middle with a lead right hand.
Yeah, he's doing a nice little pop right hand roll out going underneath the left hook that I spoke about earlier of Rodriguez. Good move to stay on those toes, not staying in front. Nice left hook there from Rodriguez upstairs. I've noticed that in past fights with Rodriguez. He's got a really nice counter, short left hook upstairs that often catches guys mid-combination.
See Rodriguez trying that same combination there. The first time he threw it, Chris, it was almost like when he threw the right hand to the body, Muratalla reacted by dropping his right hand, and Rodriguez was able to land the left. Muratalla adjusted the second time he threw it. Good pattern recognition there from Muratalla as round 3 comes to a close. Oh, this Saturday, do not miss the huge event that will be the global superstar Jake Paul taking on MMA star Nate Diaz live on DAZN pay-per-view from Dallas, Texas. We take a look back at some of the action from the previous round.
There was that stumble there from Muratalla when Rodriguez had landed a right hand, but kind of hit the shoulder. Wasn't really a scoring blow like I originally thought. But there we did see a scoring blow, and another overhand right from Rodriguez. Rodriguez had a decent round, but I think Muratalla was doing better with his boxing in round number 3.
Round 4 underway. 29-year-old Gabriel Muratalla looking to keep his unbeaten record intact here tonight. Edwin Rodriguez looking to spoil the party here in Atlanta. He's certainly done some good work. Muratalla, every time Rodriguez has started to have some success, Chris, we've seen Muratalla make a very quick adjustment and kind of take away some of that momentum.
Yeah, no, like I said, he's been showing really nice athleticism and boxing skills tonight. Definitely a well-schooled fighter. He's working behind the jab. He's using his movement, his upper body rhythm to make openings for himself that may not be there. When you got a seasoned guy in front of you who's coming forward and putting pressure like Rodriguez, you got to get creative, and Muratalla is doing that. And also learning from his mistakes, where Rodriguez was able to catch him with some of the shots, like similar right there. Muratalla made the adjustment, make sure his hand got back to home, and was able to catch those shots back from Rodriguez.
Rodriguez trying to step in with a left hook. And we take a look at the CompuBox stats, power punches through round 3. See Rodriguez actually outlanding Muratalla Jr. to this point in the fight, 71-60. Perhaps a surprising stat there.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. A lot of the things that Muratalla does are very eye-catching. A lot of the things that Rodriguez does are kind of subtle and sneaky. So if you're really paying attention like CompuBox seems to be, you're going to see that Rodriguez is having more success than maybe you might, the casual eye may notice.
Well, of course, the jab, not a power shot, has been a key for Muratalla. He's landing plenty of those, at least seemingly.
Yeah, I think he's definitely been more accurate with the jab. He's been popping those right hands. Nice dig to the body there from Muratalla. Nice response by Rodriguez, the right hook around the elbow. Oh, chopping right hand from Muratalla lands over the top. That's been a good punch actually for both men. Been effective throughout the night.
Good sweeping shot there from Muratalla. They've been trading shots on the inside there as Muratalla gets back to his jab, stabs it down to the body.
That's one thing I've noticed from the tape of Muratalla. Even at ringside, we can hear the shots here. He looks strong, he is fast, but he has a tendency to slap with his punches, not really turn the punch over to land with those knuckles.
Yeah, sometimes the more audible shot, especially to the body, can mean that it's not being turned over quite the same way.
Yeah, more of a slap, which gets that audible sound instead of having the damage being delivered.
There's a nice counter uppercut to the body there from Edwin Rodriguez on the move. Another sneaky shot getting in there from Edwin Rodriguez as we come to a close.
Sneaky is exactly the word I was thinking of when I just saw that right hand from Rodriguez.
I am here on the Vibe Cam with Boots Ennis. Boots, you've been training Haven Brady for quite some time now. What has been the biggest change you've noticed in his performance as a pro fighter?
I feel like his defense is, on 100 right now. He picking it up real fast, and it's like second nature to him. So I feel like he's real comfortable with his defense now. He trusts himself a lot more with it.
If you could describe how this fight's going to go in one word, what would it be?
I say explosive knockout.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Round 5 now underway between Gabriel Muratalla and Edwin Rodriguez. That man, Boots Ennis, you'll see him up next, not in the ring, but in the corner of Haven Brady Jr. alongside his father, Bozy Ennis, training Haven Brady Jr. as he'll take on Andre Rodriguez. Coming up after this bout, which is very much still in the balance. Edwin Rodriguez, who described his work as being sneaky at times, even though Muratalla could feel like he's in rhythm, feels like he's in control. Rodriguez is definitely getting his shots in there.
Yeah, he is, but he needs to do more. He's falling into that guy who's going to lose close decisions once again. I mean, he needs to be more than just tricky. He's got to be almost like we saw in the opener with Galvan, who come forward, bang away, get the attention of the judges, because all that tricky stuff, if you're not dropping guys and hurting them, it's not going to pay off in the end. You can kind of get the sense of why Rodriguez has that idea in his head that he won a lot of those fights. Because, yeah, he's very much in this fight, but is he doing enough to win the rounds for the 3 judges ringside?
In fighter meetings, Rodriguez admitted to be very uncertain about his ability to win a decision here. He felt like he might need a knockout. He wouldn't say that he was going to hunt for one, but he felt like one might be necessary here tonight.
Certainly doesn't look like he's fighting that way, though.
Sharp right hand down the middle there from Muratalla. Comes back with a nice left hook.
I've seen many of Muratalla's fights. He likes to throw a lot of combinations. He'll double, triple up that left hand, and he leaves a lot of openings. He hasn't done that tonight. He's fought a very disciplined fight. I think that the Garcia camp knew what they had in front of him, knew the dangers of sitting in the pocket and throwing combinations against Rodriguez would pose, so they've chose to be more of a boxer puncher tonight. And on my scorecard, that's been successful.
See Rodriguez trying to go back downstairs to the body, where he has had some success in this fight, but this has been a terrific round for Muratalla. What he's lacked perhaps in pop in this fight, Muratalla has made up for with just constant motion, constant movement. And we go back to those hard training camps at the Garcia Academy, the notoriously difficult training camps in his own backyard as he goes back downstairs to the body. Muratalla able to just stay on the move.
You know what I call that? I call it winning the moments. So in between, when there's not action going on, Muratalla's movement and mannerisms, his aura can sway the rounds that may be close. And to your point, a lot of that can come from knowing that you've done it in the gym and you're comfortable with what's in front of you.
Manos tapaditas, cerquita de la otra. Último count, campeón. Último count. Ponemos la mesa así una vez. Sí, tenemos que sentarnos. Oye. Pero hay que trabajar ahora. Este es el round. Vamos. Vamos, vamos. Mucha mano por todos lados, como hiciste ahora. Bien tirado, bien tirado. Ahora, vamos a empezar. Dale. Bien tirado, bien tirado. Vamos. Bien tirado. Bien tirado. No, porque no puede hacer nada. Vamos, vamos.
Now we enter the 6th and final round.
Round 6 begins. And Gabriel Muratalla, the man who Robert Garcia calls a perfect example for all the young fighters in his gym because of his work ethic and his ability to balance outside interests with fighting, is looking to keep his perfect record intact.
But a very smart fight tonight with the best opponent to this date in his career. You know, this has been a very competitive boxing match, not so much a firefight, but I think both of these guys have to have it in the back of their head that, hey man, that financial incentive, that bonus of getting the knockout in this 6th and final round is there, it's looming. Can either one of us get it?
Well, remember, Muratalla is waiting for another job at another preschool. His school just closed down. I'm sure an extra couple thousand might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, why not?
This feels nice when it hits the account. Right hand from Muratalla probably didn't feel nice as he looks forward again and rips a nice left hook there.
You saw Muratalla, as soon as that left hook landed, he banged his gloves together and said, oh, let's go.
Trade right hands there a moment ago. Edwin Rodriguez, you have to think.
Oh, that hurt him. That hurt him.
Yes, he is. Muratalla has Rodriguez a little bit unsteady right now. Rodriguez says he wants the action as he slaps his gloves together again and fires back with a right hand.
And Rodriguez holding his ground and fighting back, even though he's still a little stunned. He got hit with a right hand just below the ear and the jawline. That can take your equilibrium away. But he's still standing his ground and punching.
Well, it's Rodriguez who's been more active over the last 15, 20 seconds since being stunned. A good reply from Edwin Rodriguez, but he eats another right hand from Muratalla.
That's impressive. I've rarely seen Rodriguez hurt. He's fought some very tough guys, so it's a nice feather in the cap from Muratalla. See what he can do with it.
Another right hand connects there from Muratalla a moment ago.
I noticed about halfway through round 4, I believe, that Muratalla just looked like he felt very comfortable with what was in front of him and really started to take over in terms of getting creative and having fun out there.
Beautiful shot from Muratalla a moment ago, throwing that left hook to the body as he's pivoting around, but there's some good work from Rodriguez on the inside as well.
Muratalla came back with a really nice counter on the inside, really sharp, tricky shot. Remember I said we had a competitive boxing match earlier? The fight broke out in round 6.
Yeah, we've got a slugfest here. In the latter half of round 6. Final moments of this contest. Once again, we believe. We'll wait to see what the judges feel. Gabriel Muratalla has to feel pretty good as he heads back to his corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going the distance inside the OTX ring, the official scorecard reads as follows. Judges Staley and Canner turn in identical scores of 60 to 54, and Judge Cronin scores about 59 to 55. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Still undefeated in the red corner,